This video goes out to all of the black men out here that's looking to elevate themselves as black men. One thing that I want to discuss is how do we conduct ourselves like real black men instead of like niggas. And we got to realize it is a process, just like it took 400 years to make the nigga, to break the black man and condition him to be a nigga. It's going to take probably just as much time to get rid of some of our niggly conditions. But something that I noticed that a lot of black men do is test ourselves in a way that's very disrespectful. There's nothing wrong with men testing or challenging their brother to sharpen him or to just see where his head is at. You know what I'm saying? But I see a lot of people out here that they say things and challenge somebody, another brother, in a way that any rational human being will respond as if they're threatened. You know what I'm saying? So we got to realize when to be a man and when to be a gentleman. My father always told me, when you checking a man, or you know what I'm saying, you ask him about a sensitive topic, you pull that man to the side. You don't do it in front of a bunch of people. You don't give him an audience to show out in front of. Same thing with a woman. Any person in general, when you're communicating with them about a sensitive subject, you're supposed to pull them to the side. You know what I'm saying? So it don't look like you grandstanding. You feel me? Something that I learned from my 5% brothers out here in d-mecca is when you greet a man, you say peace. So even if you have a problem with what that man is doing, you don't necessarily even have a problem with that man. But when you have a problem with what that man is doing, you say peace, letting him know, look, I need to holler at you. You feel what I'm saying? If we recognize that, I think we will be a lot better off. But this is something else brothers had to recognize. You're not above being put in check. Every person makes mistakes. Every person makes mistakes. And you know, part of the reason why black people are in the condition that we're in as a mass, not as individuals, but as a mass, is because we don't want to challenge our brethren to do better. We don't want our brethren to develop better. And I say we don't want it because we don't speak on what our brethren is doing. And when we do speak on it, we challenge them in a way that's going to, of course, make the animal come out, because we're being very disrespectful. But you know what I'm saying? If somebody is challenging you on a sensitive subject, you don't have to have a temper tantrum, because now you've started an animalistic dynamic. You know what I'm saying? We can handle things like men, chop it up, reconcile. Well, I'm not going to fuck with you. You don't got to fuck with me. We leave it like that. Or we can handle it like animals. And we know how animals handle things. It's either fight or flight. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we've been handling things, like animals. You feel me? And this is why we don't get that much respect across the world, because we even handle our own group in an animalistic way. And that's crazy. I was just having a conversation with a female who could not find the connection between the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover. I'm not going to say that. I'll say J. Edgar Hoover beef with the Black Panthers, which basically meant his beef with the communities that the Black Panthers was feeding. So J. Edgar Hoover obviously had a beef with the black community that the Black Panthers was in. Not only that, but he also had a beef with the US organization, who were a cultural nationalist group. You understand? So J. Edgar Hoover had a beef with the black community. And this young lady, she could not see the connection. You know what I'm saying? She felt as if, as individuals, she judges people. You understand? And she did make some good points. She said if you went over to another country, would you want everybody to look at you as just an American who bombs Iraq? You feel me? But if somebody did approach me and ask me about the bombing of Iraq, I would just simply ask them, well, where was you at when my forefathers was being lynched, hung, and where was you at during the transatlantic slave trade? Because I believe in cause and effect. These motherfuckers have been beefing with my fathers, so I don't look at them as like somebody I rock with like that. But fair is fair. A lot of people, especially within our own group, don't recognize us because as men, we throw these temper tantrums when another man steps to us and say, brother, you was wrong. You know, and of course, I'm paraphrasing. If a nigga stepped to me and said, brother, you was wrong, I'm not going to throw no temper tantrum. But if a nigga stepped to me and be like, blah, 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 motherfucker, of course, I'm probably going to become upset. And I'm probably going to look at it like I have to react in a way like, well, fuck you too. You see what I'm saying? And we could nip all of this negative dynamic by simply learning how to address each other, man. How to check each other. You feel what I'm saying? Brothers don't embarrass each other, man. And one other thing, this black man ego shit is very much out of hand. And I always ask people, isn't it odd that Elijah Muhammad taught that the black man is God, but he never said you was God? It's because those people's egos were not ready for that responsibility. And a lot of our egos are still not ready for responsibility of being this title called God. And that's real talk. Motherfuckers feel as if like they have the only way to do anything. You know what I'm saying? But if they really study revolutionary tactics, successful revolutionary tactics, they would realize that it was several different factions that autonomously came together, put small petty differences aside, and made revolution. And this is even true with the American Revolution. This is true with any successful revolution. We like to reference the Mau Mau, but I don't know if y'all knew this or did any research on it. But I don't know if the Mau Mau revolt would be what you would consider successful. Think about that. The Cuban revolt, successful. Algiers revolt, successful. The American Revolution, successful. Revolution is revolution, man. And niggas gotta really realize that. You know what I'm saying? The Americans believed in the Constitution like it was the Bible. It was some like deep shit to them. The Constitution became their spirituality. Communism became Fidel Castro's spirituality, so on and so forth. So I mean, we got to think about that. Haiti, successful revolution, but Haiti right now is fucked up. You know, and we gotta just be realistic about it. We have to put our egos aside, though, brothers, and we have to learn how to check each other. If we say we love black people and we want to have some black pride, we want to have some black love, we want to have just a better community, we got to learn how to address each other in general. So, you know, just remember this. If you see somebody you have a problem with what they're doing and you want to say something, say, excuse me, brother, I come in peace, but blah, 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 I'm really not feeling what you're doing. This shit sounds corny, man, but just imagine if a nigga stepped to you like that, as opposed to, what the fuck you doing? It will make a difference. That's World Lord from McCreed. I'm out. I think I'm out. No.